day, huh? Every day we keep giving you the best. Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls. Lindy Official, what's up? Detroit on the check-in. Every day we keep bringing you the best. I don't know if y'all saw me on that MSNBC with Ari. Thank you, Ari, for having me on today. I hit the president with the, it's too late, baby. Yeah, it's too late. And it's true. And you see, when you measure sports, and you see how sports, and especially basketball, man, you know, the faster team wins. There's always an edge in sports that somebody's playing at a different level. You can be great. But you have to be at another level. When you see these champions, they just at a different level of how they thinking. And so in order to win the election, for Joe Biden to win, everybody had to play a part. Everybody, the people, the grandmothers, everybody who went out there. I got pictures from all my aunts and uncles. Everybody, every vote count. Every vote count. And so that's what it would. That's when you seeing these races. With, and that's what it takes to win at anything. And we got a big show coming up. Don't do that. Hold up. Do me a favor. Don't try us like that, man. Do me a favor, man. And so, being that everybody played their part, every little body played their part, that's how Joe Biden was able to win. So don't let nobody tell you your vote don't count. We are here like we here every night, 8 p.m. Eastern. I got a couple of guests coming by. Hopefully they come by. If they don't, you know I know how to shoot the shit better than anybody. We can talk about basically everything. Because that's what I do. Shout out to Tretch, Naughty by Nature, Anthem Maker, King of the Hits. Came on last night. And we was talking some real stuff. We are here now. And tonight we have a very, very big guest. Very, very, I just don't know how, by the grace of God, we keep pulling this off. Wild Cherry Pepsi Fridays is always something amazing. Shout out to the Terror Squad Queen. Wild Cherry Pepsi. Last week we had Chris Brown. I don't even know what to do no more. We got Dr. Fauci, Chris Brown, Dallas Austin, Teddy Riley. I give up. And I'm trying. And it's for you. I'm trying. Every day I try. I don't even rap no more because I try to get y'all guys the best talent, the best people to talk, the best people to show up here and come mess with y'all every day. And so it's crazy how we do this thing here, right? So, but thank God we started out 8.5 months ago when COVID first started, and it's taken legs of its own. I've been listening to music while I work out and trying to get inspired, and I really miss my brother Fred the Godson. If you guys don't know who he was, rest in peace. This man really put in work when it came to lyrics, and he really bust his brain in his bubble. Shout out to 2 Chainz. Got a great, great, great album out right now. 2 Chainz came out. Azzy, who got an album? The young boys with Little Uzi Vert and Future got an album out. My daughter says it's together and it's great. Executive producer Azariah Malone Cartagena. As you all know, this is a family business. She is the executive producer of the show. 14 years old. alongside my brother Dre of Cool and Dre. Tonight, tonight we got a phenomenal hit maker. Phenomenal hit maker, and this man has made some of the greatest music you have ever shook your ass to in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my brother, the one and only Salaam Remi.
Yo,
Yo,
what's good, bro?
Salaam, what's up, my brother? You should put your joint down a little bit,
Put it down a
so
little
we can
lower.
see just a little bit. You know, cause me and you, we got
Boom.
healthy faces. You
There
know
you
what I'm
go.
saying?
Good enough noggin in the
You know,
camera.
this shit'll be right up in your nose, you know?
All right, cool. Boom. Pull this there. All right, cool.
Salaam,
What's good, bro?
man, it's an honor to have you on the show. You're a musical genius, to say the least. And what's crazy is when I'm thinking about everybody you work with some pretty different spectrums of, it ain't the same old, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been one of the blessings that the hip hop generation gifted us. We don't have to like the same thing. We sample anything. So when you try to make your samples, then you end up creating anything. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the best things about it.
Okay, Salaam, when you made you look,
Yep.
right? What you was thinking, touching the holy grail, you know, sometimes it ain't like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
But when me and you came up, there was certain beats you not supposed to sample. They just holy grails. And you
Right.
don't fuck with them, but you went there or made you look.
Yeah. That's a funny story how that came up. First, me and Nas were talking on the phone, and we were talking about how when the first Eric B and Rakim video. First of all, everything starts for me. I got all my cassettes here. Like we lived off of tapes. We had the tape off the radio, and that's how we knew something. Or when the tape was coming from the park jams earlier, but still our generation, we would tape off the radio. We had our Red Alert tape. We paused it. We had a tape that had all the jams on it. So for me, we was talking about how the first time we really saw Rakim was I Ain't No Joke video. But he already had My Melody, Eric Beats for President, and I Know You Got Soul, which I Know You Got Soul deserved the video. But we never saw Rakim really until I Ain't No Joke video. You know what I'm saying? When he finally had that coming with the album. But when that album was there and that, the energy of him walking around, Flavor Flav was in I Ain't No Joke video. And we didn't know who Flavor Flav was like that. You know what I'm saying? He
Flav
had the
was doing the
clocks on.
dance. I knew who Flav was, but Flav was doing the dance in the Ain't No Joke video.
Exactly, but Public Enemy at that point hadn't had a video because they didn't have videos off their first album. They were just out there. The videos for Public Enemy came on It Takes a Nation of Millions. You know what I'm saying? So, Don't Believe the Hype, I think, was probably one of their first videos they had like that. Before that, it was just still underground. It was tapes, it was WBAI, it was all the other stuff. So we talk about I Ain't No Joke video. We was talking about Run's house when they was uptown and they was walking through the
Who's
Apollo area.
house? Say
Exactly.
what? Runs out.
Exactly, and then how it felt in the BEP video for My Philosophy, and part of it, they had a little bit of a Bridges Over video, but when they were rushing into Union Square, it
When
just
they was
felt
rushing, when they was bum
right,
rushing.
bum rushing in. So the energy of those songs was like, yo, dang, you make something that feel like that. And I was like, yeah, all right, cool. So then now I just moved down to Miami, 2002. We all kind of, after 9/11, we all started being out here more, right? So I'm out in Miami and I'm working with Ricky Martin. So I had this idea, I'm gonna make a record for Ricky Martin. It was still a couple years after living La Vida Loca. I was like, I'm down, blum, 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 Ricky. That was my mind. I was like,
No way.
if I put Ricky Martin on Apache, the DJ is gonna go for it. Because I've done another remix for him for the song called Amor, and I put Greg Nice on that, and it was real big in Europe. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna find something, make it Ricky Martin, Apache. Wow, we're gonna capture the Latin, international audience and the B-boys at the same time. So that was my thinking. So then I'm going to chop it up, And then I slowed it down. Large Professor had this thing where he would slow down samples to make sure that the chop was clean. So I slowed it down just to see, make sure what I was doing was right. And it was like, boom. And then I just moved down from New York. The 18 wheelers here. So all my dudes from New York, both of them rushed in the room like, yo, what's that? Yo, what'd you just do? And I was like, oh, this sound all right. So I put it together, and then I hit Nas on the cell phone. I was like, yo, I think I got something. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, he two-wayed me back, come through. He was in Orlando. So I was like, all right, cool. That was where the track came from. But that's what made me, you know, and then I remember I was on the phone with Nobody at the time, you know what I'm saying, producer Nobody. And I was like, yo, he's like, yo, Salaam, what are you doing? You chopping up Apache for Nas? Like, why would you do that? You know, we were in exclusive break beats. Why are you chopping up a break beat, like a basic break beat for Nas? You got a chance to give Nas it? I was like, I don't know. It's just something here. And then I was, as a matter of fact, I'm going to use Impeach the President too. And that's what ended up happening. I ended up doing Impeach the President and Apache with Nas's 2 singles off of Godson.
Man, that's crazy. You mean
I was
about to tell you, yo, why you ain't call me for that? And then, but I said, but we obviously got to get to the elephant in the room. So how you did call me and made a beat for me that I passed up on like a dummy, and it became one of the biggest 30, 40, 50 platinum, 50 million sold. And could you explain the story about Fuji Live?
All right, so I'm gonna go back a little bit because I was sitting there thinking about it this morning, and I was trying to remember when's the first time I saw you. I was like, the first time I remember really seeing Joe, I saw you in the clubs, but we were at the Muse over there on 12th Avenue, like Meatpacking now. We were at the Muse, and you must have had a 750 or a 735, and
Your
you
Beamer.
and your Beamer, and you and King's son was driving up 12th Ave. Me and Flex was inside. Probably Big Cat was just coming through. Kitty O, and we were just coming outside after the club, and then you pushed by, like looking around, like I felt like you leaned forward and you looked all 4 ways, like who's out here, and you was pushing, like you didn't go up 12th, you came up 10th, so you was like pushing through. And I was like, damn, who that King's son with? Fat Joe? Woo! So then now I seen you at was it Angie's birthday? No, it wasn't Angie's birthday, but we were at the Palladium now on 14th Street. And I'm coming down the stairs, and you said, yo, Salaam, I need one of those beats. And I'm like, what you talking about? He's like, it's the AAA. It's not the AAA. It's the beat. I need one of those beats. And I was like, all right, cool. I got you. All right, so that's what's up. And then, love him, baby Chris came to the crib with you. So I lived across from
but you know, we sat on the floor, Salaam. I don't know if you remember.
Was it the floor y'all sat on?
No, we were sitting on the floor in your apartment. We came to your apartment.
My apartment, but I must have had a chair too. I had no chair.
Yeah, but I don't know, for some strange reason we were sitting on the floor.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know why that was so weird. We were sitting on the floor when you was playing me the beat, and I was like, I remember that shit.
Nah, but that's when you came back. See, that's where the story goes, right? So the first week you came with Chris. So Chris is like, yo, we need something. So I was like, all right, cool. And you know, at that time, it was before Jealous One's Envy, so you were working on Jealous One's Envy. So it was like, you know, in my mind, I was like, Fat Joe, bust it, check it, bring it. So I was like, all right, cool. So, and I love the Hawaii 5-0, the way Flo Joe was rocking. So in my mind, I was like, all right, I'm going to make something specifically for you. He was like, all right, cool. I was like, give me a week and come back through. So when you came back, you had one of your other homeboys with you, and Chris wasn't with you. So you sat down, and then you was like, all right, cool. So I was like, yo, here you go. Because what I did was I took the Flo Joe flow and built the Fuji Live beat around it. You know what I'm saying? So if you listen, boom, it locks right in there. I made it to your flow. So then you listen to it, you say, boy, it's different. It's either it's fat or it's not fat at all. I can't tell. I don't know. And then that was that. And I was like, all right, cool, let me know. He's like, I don't know. I think I gave you a copy of it, but you wasn't sure whether or not you wanted it. So then,
no, you gave me a copy.
Yeah.
I fucked up, Salaam. I fucked up.
Nah, you did the right thing. You did the right thing, Joe. You did the right thing. Because the next week, Lauren and Wyclef came through the crib, and I was trying to give them the beat. So remember the track that Greg Nice had, that Let's take it up to the old school.
Old school.
Let's take
Let's take
it.
it to Union Square.
So I
Square.
had that beat. I was trying to give it to the Fugees after we did it. And Lauren's like, it sounded like the last record we did already. What else you got? And I was like, well, I got this other beat. So then actually it started playing. Boom. Boom. She's like, what's that? I was like, well, that's something I made for Fat Joe. She's like, nah, let me hear that. So she started hearing it. She's like, yo, that Fat Joe beat. That's what I'm talking about. We need that Fat Joe beat. So cool. Fast forward now, we got a session. We did a song called Project Heads for Spike Lee's Clockers. We're at the studio. We created, I just found the cassette right here too. So I'm just exclusive for the world, still on cassette, but I got the Fugees Project Heads. You know what I'm saying? Session tape, cassette tape. You know, we had to leave the studio with that. So boom, we doing the record. Spike didn't end up using it. But while we're in the session, Lauren says, yo, play that Fat Joe beat. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll push
Yo,
play on the
Salaam, you
beat.
have killed me. This is like the movie The Notebook. Because I'm like, I keep crying over and over again. Like, you're destroying
Nah, you
my
did the right thing,
life.
yo. You saved my life. Trust me. You saved my life. So Lauren says, play the Fat Joe beat. And this time, when the beat pops in, pop. Wyclef's sitting on the floor in my studio now. He jumps up, we used to be number 10, and spits his whole verse. And I looked, I was like, ooh. So they were in between budgets. So I recorded the joint with them at my studio, and we did Fuji La, and then they went and got their second budget. And if you listen to Cowboys and a bunch of other stuff on the score, it's kind of based off the energy of the Fuji La beat. So it was actually like, you know, it was inspired by you, which is always a great thing. But, you know, it actually created a whole energy for them that they ran with all the way.
Man, that's a Joker moment here. We call that a Joker moment when the people ain't hear nothing like that. But I want to die right now and jump off the balcony, man.
Yo,
you know, how many records they sold with that?
Man, Sony told us that they sold 25 or 30. So if they told
30
us
million?
that, 25 or 30, but if they told us that, then you know what it really was. You know what I'm saying?
At that time, bootleg was big, so the Africans was getting that shit off legendary on 125th.
Everywhere, international, because you know this thing with the score was my first plaque with all the other little countries that it was platinum on. So that was just another great thing. So it was around the world, it was global, and it did so well. You know, even now, like it was on Jay-Z's 444 album. Khaled sampled it for Nas' album Done. Fuji La still is one of my heaviest records out here. You know what I mean? And you know, it was probably the best thing. Then remember, I had my other studio. And then you came by. I was like, yo, Joe, I'm glad you didn't take that beat. I bought this big ass studio.
Yo, Salaam, could you flip that for me again? Could you flip that same beat for me again, 2020? Like,
that's a challenge. All right.
Nah, it's meant to be, Salaam. I gotta touch it, man. I gotta touch it. It's like we for real though. Like we need. I can't. I don't have closure with this. This bothered me. Like this is really bothering me that I had my hands on it and I played myself. This is like when I tell a story that I could have signed Eminem 6 times. He gave me his demo.
Yeah.
One night I'm eating dinner with Eminem, Eminem and Be Real, and he tells me that in my ear. I wanted to commit suicide. He said, Joe, you know I gave you my demo 6 times.
Wow.
And here I am at the dinner like, yo, I'm with Eminem. Like, I'm with Eminem. He said, by the way, I gave you my demo 6 times.
Yo,
but this is one of them. This is like, there's certain things in hip hop where I really fucked up. This is one of them. But let's revisit it again because
I could probably make it better now.
Yeah. I mean, it's only right. But I'd rather you than get somebody else flip it because me and you were supposed to do that to begin with. Anyway.
Exactly.
You know, so you worked with, you know, I didn't know much about her, but I'm just trying to tell the people because you've always been the guy behind the scenes.
Right.
Not only that, you've been sucker free, you've been out scandals, you've been with some of the most scandalous people in the business, in the whole culture, but yet you have been able to be quiet, respectable, walk your dogs, live your life on your terms. Amy Winehouse. I
Mm-hmm.
saw I saw the documentary they put out on her, and I was just amazed. What was that like, and how did you meet Amy Winehouse for the first time and said, yo, she's a super duper duper star. I have to work with her?
It was also during that same year, when I did Made You Look. When we first came to Miami, that was that crazy thing for me. Like 2001 was crazy. My mom's had passed on my birthday. The towers fell. Things were just like the energy was crazy that year. And I'd come down here to Miami on October 1st, and I started this artist from the UK named Miss Dynamite's album. And Miss Dynamite's album did really big over there. It was a big deal. So then she'd heard a record I also did during 2001 for Left Eye called The Block Party. So that was probably Left Eye's last video that she had kind of shot. Hype did a crazy like Blues Clues looking video and all the stuff for it. And she heard that record and went to EMI Publishing in London saying whoever produced this Left Eye Lopez song is going to know what to do with me. And that was her energy. So she went looking for me. And when she came, they called me, like, hey, do this. I was like, yo, first of all, when I moved to Miami, I was like, it's either good people, good music, and good money, or don't call me. Or if it's good people and good music, the money's going to come. I ain't worried about it. So that was my motto. I was semi-retired. I was 30. I just had that Fuji's money stacked up. I was just like, I'll live in
I've been to your
Miami.
house. It's a very big house. It's a complex. It's not a house. Did you always want a complex? Like,
I'm going to tell you how it developed. So ultimately, I had a studio downtown in the Venetia, like right across from where the Miami Herald was. So I had a studio there, and I was like, all right, so whoever this girl is, 2 weeks after my 30th birthday, actually on Left Eye's birthday, the 27th, this girl walks in, and I'm like, all right, so what's up? She walks in, and she pulls out a guitar, and she starts singing Girl from Ipanema. But her voice is so crazy, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, okay, you can sing. I didn't know about her demos if she was real or not. When she sang in front of me, I was like, okay, I really wasn't here for this, but you know what? You a real one. So we started working that day, and we did a couple songs, and I ended up producing the majority of her first album, Frank, which did well and had great. We won the Ivor Novello Songwriting Awards and everything else. But I was sitting there going, if this girl is 18 like that, the thing that was dope about her, we grew up in New York. So when we hear there I go, there I go, there I go, there, like we knew that from Frankie Crocker, because when that song came on, we knew it's about to get dark. Your moms might be looking for you. The energy shifting in the city. What block am I on? I was at somebody's crib. I probably should get back around my way. Like that song meant something to us growing up in the 70s, right? Into the early 80s. We knew what that was. So I played it for her. She's 18 in 2002. I play her the song, and she spits it back to me like a super jazz, super grown woman the same day. And I'm just sitting going, wow, you really could sing this song like that? So she made me a better producer, and I just gave her everything I knew. I gave her that. I gave her Mr. Magic, boom, boom, boom. Everything that we knew is jazz and hip hop, and then she was just eating it up. I gave her the Made You Look beat. She wrote a dope song to it. We call it In My Bed. So it was just like super jazz, England style from her, and then super hip hop for me. And what we put together became something special. So then now she's coming to record her second album. And by that time, I bought the crib that I have as my studio now, the one you came to.
Let me ask one question, Salaam.
Uh-huh.
When you put the second album, when you put the second album out and it blew, did people go back and connect with the first album? Did the first album blew after that?
Yeah, you know what it was with the first album? It had cult followings. Like the first album was like bags of Chiba. You know what I'm saying? It was like a glass of wine and Chiba. You know how I say if you had a wine brand, Fat Joe's selling wine, that's cool. But that's not that hard liquor that's gonna get you that other money. So the first album was just like that. It was a glass of wine, a little weed, and all the women was like, oh, did she say that slick nasty shit? I'm with that, but it was a different type of energy. When the second album now, she came to my crib and then she was like, I want to stand right here and sing. So I was like, really? I didn't have no studio set up here. So I ended up pushing equipment into my living room where you walked in and making the Back to Black my half of the album in that room. And she sat here, she wrote Tears Dry on Their Own in the crib. And it was kind of like her detox, getting away from London, writing songs about all her friends and everybody there. And that was the start of it. And then she went and got with Mark Ronson and finished the rest of the album. But I was still the core of making that happen. But it was her being able to get to Miami and really relaxing out here that actually did it. And I was, part of the person and the people around that could be like, yo, what you doing? All right, chill, little sis. You know how we got little sisters in the business, and
Oh
we
yeah.
keep seeing them doing something, and you gotta let them wild out. Like, that's cool. You might want to chill though, because we've been around for a minute, and that's the same thing. She was born in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, she's born in '83, so she's a little sis for real for me. And when the album took all the way off, it was just like, but I seen this before. I saw this when the Fugees didn't have money to eat Island Spice when we were recording the score.
They used to
I was
open
buying
up
the
for
lunch.
me. They used to
They,
open up for me. The next thing I turned around, they was on the Grammys and shit, throwing Haitian flags in the air.
and I looked up and I didn't know if I knew them. That was the first time I experienced somebody that sat next to me that was in TV. I'm like, I don't know if I know them no more. Like, who are you? And then when I got back in the room with them, I was like, okay, cool. But it also let me know that I could sit down and work with artists and mold their creativity into being the world. You feel what I'm saying?
Let
And
me
that was
ask you a
just the
question,
biggest lesson.
Salaam. Did you ever
Yeah.
talk to her about the drug use, or did you ever have like a heart-to-heart, one-on-one, like trying to like slow her down from? Cause we
Yeah,
seeing this.
know what happened with that for me? I was her safe haven. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wouldn't even drink when she was around me. So it's like
Mm.
when she was around me, her eyes would clear up. They'd be all hazel, cat eyes. Like, her whole energy shifted around me. And all she kept saying is, I want to get out to record with you. I want to get out to record with you. And then I was on St. Lucia on vacation and I heard she was there. So then I walked up on her and sat down. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Then we set up in St. Lucia for 6 months. I had all my engineers out there. We set up houses and studios trying to record because I knew that she wanted to record and get it out. But it's like the thing with Amy is that Amy was a hard lover. And you know how some girls, if you like video games and she like you, she gonna play video games. If you like, yo, I'm really into golf, she's like, I got new golfing clubs. They're gonna do whatever it is. She fell in love with a dude that was a drug user and cut himself and had toxic stuff. And whatever he felt, she wanted to feel, and she went all the way in. She's the type of person that'd be like, I like your song. Play it again. It's on repeat, like a 5-year-old. Oh, you know what? I don't like your song. Delete that on my iTunes so it never plays again. There's no in the middle. And she loved the wrong person, and she went all the way into their habits. But her small body couldn't take that. He still lives, but her body couldn't take that. And it was a thing where it's like, even when I talked about it, she's like, I know I'm gonna get stuff together, whatever it was. And realistically, she was at the time when she passed, she had really passed all the drug use and all that stuff, but her body was too beaten up. Her kidneys was beaten up, her liver wasn't working right, everything else. And she died ultimately of alcohol poisoning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when somebody's
Mm.
like, I beat Corona, I'm good, but your lungs is weak. Now you get a heart attack or something else. That's basically what happened with her. And it's unfortunate that so many people go through different things where we can't actually pull them all the way out of it. And, enough we from the hood. At the end of the day, we know many people that died. I had 2 uncles that died of AIDS early. You know what I'm saying, in the '80s, and you know what I'm saying, whatever it was, and they'd be like, "Nah, I'm getting it together," but it's just one of those things that it messed me up because I was in London. We were supposed to go to Nick Shemansky's wedding on the Sunday. I got there on the Wednesday, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get it together on Saturday, make sure she's cool. But she just started drinking, and I'm talking to security, and then I'm like, yo, cool, I'm picking up some food to go to the crib. And he's like, yo, she passed last night. And I'm like, what? I just heard her on the phone. And it was that crazy because, Nas put it in perspective for me. He's like, that's like coming to Miami and saying, yo, I'm coming to your crib and don't come. And I die before you get it. And you're gonna feel like, yo, what the hell did I just do? And that really took me out. You know what I'm saying? It took me out, and it still is a sore spot for me sometimes. So I just be like, cool. When people call me, somebody called me a minute ago and they're like, it sounds like the next Amy Winehouse. I'm like, don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because, at a point,
Yeah.
you feel like you're putting chord changes to people's problems, and then they still got the problem. You feel what I'm saying? They
You
still
know, it's
going through
like
it,
if you
and
look
it's
at my
good.
DMs, they ain't no hot chicks in my DMs. It's all fat Puerto Rican guys who rap thinking they the next pun. And they've been telling me that for years. And people don't understand, the more you even sound like pun, the more I'm turned off. Like
Can't do it.
it's just pun. Like let pun be pun, and let everybody else rap how you rap. Like it's for years, bro. It's just been like every fat Spanish kid think they pun, and they start da 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 da, and they not, you know. And I understand exactly what you're saying. It can never be another Amy Winehouse.
No.
You
And
know,
not in
you
the
got to
same
do
way.
you.
Yeah, once you do you in your own way, like, Lauryn Hill's one of one. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be another one. But, Clef will tell a whole lot of people, yo, you remind me of Lauren. I will never tell somebody they remind me of Lauren. I'm not giving them that because Lauren's her
Well,
own
nobody.
thing.
You know, I got a sister that she's real tough, and she's my favorite. Speaking of Remy Ma, well, she
Hmm.
knows Lauryn Hill's my favorite female MC to touch the mic, and she's probably better than 90% of the dudes that ever rap. Maybe 95% of the dudes that ever rap. I
Hmm.
mean, that's the type of level. You know what I mean? I've always looked at Lauryn Hill like she's exceptional.
Right.
You know, on another level. And what's that like? Because they're both like, I mean, no disrespect, they're both weird. Like Lauryn Hill, uh, Amy Winehouse. I mean, you have both these girls, you know, making their music. What is Lauren like? You know, because I don't think we'll ever get Lauren to explain to us what she's like. What is Lauren like? Working with Lauren, or her being your sister, you having such a great relationship.
You know what it is? More than anything else, like I've met certain artists at that age when they were 18 and they had a lot of potential. They were still trying to find the key for the lock. But they was like, I got this potential and I've been blessed. Like I couldn't have asked of the level of talent that I've come across. Jasmine Sullivan the same way. You know what I'm saying? The Bust Your Windows, Lions, Tigers. I told them leave us, don't bring Cindy
I'm
Ryder
not
to the session.
afraid of lions and tigers and bears. Like,
So that was our first session. I'd work with on Jive, but that was our first session for that moment. But they were trying to send a songwriter. I was like, chill, let me just talk to her first. What I have with Lauren and Jasmine and Amy, and even with all that stuff, is just they get to a safe place where I'm like, all right, cool, what you want to do, and whatever they say, whatever their first idea is, I go with it. Because once I'm able to make that happen, then they get comfortable. Now they start pulling out all the real gems. You know what I'm saying? It's hustling. You know, you buy the first three and you pay for it in full, you give a little extra, and then the fourth time you go wide and then you disappear. So it's the same way. I get to the artists and I get them comfortable enough with me because I do their ideas the way they want to make it happen. And then it gets there. So with Lauren, it was the same thing. I gained her trust early by, between nappy heads and all the other things. But I just saw her potential because I was like, you got a voice and you have this words. What Lauryn Hill has two things that makes her unstoppable. Her vocabulary is next level. She's a daughter of a teacher who's well learned and super intelligent. Her vocabulary, she had us singing reciprocity. We didn't know what the reciprocal. Yeah, I might have heard that in school and a couple times in math class. She had reciprocity. Somebody can look that up. There was no Wikipedia. We didn't look it up. We just sang it. Her vocabulary is crazy. And then, of course, her voice is one of one. There's no one else that sounds like her for real, for real. And then she also knows so much music. She knows, she's like a jukebox. So with Fuji and all that stuff, you play the beat, you play anything for her, and she'll be like, oh, you know what could go there too? And she'll start just singing songs off the top of her head that will just be from 100 years ago and know how to sit it on the beat like a reggae artist. You play one beat and the reggae artist can sing you 5 different hooks on it and the beat ain't changed and it almost don't go, but it do go. That's her superpower. Melody, lyrics that can't be stopped, and then the voice that's one of one. And as a person, she's just she's kind of introverted in certain ways. She ain't really trying to be all up in everybody's mix. But when she get comfortable, she's a joker. She's cracking jokes like, really, who said that? Whatever. Like, But once again, I've seen her at 18, 19, all those different years. And then you know how it is when we're young, and then now we got to be the boss. You know what I'm saying? When you were running the top of your organization and y'all was living, there was 50 people feeding a whole lot of kids because Joe decided to go sit down and take this deal with whatever these people were downtown. And then when it ain't happening, it's that pressure. So for any star, you know what I'm saying, they go through times when, I don't want to do this, or I do want to do this, and now the buzzing don't make sense. We don't want to do that. We ain't getting enough bread. And, the reality is that, she's established a long time ago that her motivation isn't because I'm going to do something because you're going to pay me. I'm going to do it because I want to do it and because I feel like it's the right thing. And yes, I need my bread, but yes, at the same time, it got to be something that aligns with where I'm at.
And that's true. It's true artistry. It's true staying true to who you are completely. Is the artist.
Right.
Like I love my little brother Bryson Tiller. He's an artist. Like he won't even put a video out. He'll put an all black video if he feels like. He don't care. And that's being true to the art form and being true to yourself, because a lot of people get in this industry and they can get lost with what these so-called A&Rs think or whatever these record labels are molding you to be. I love reggaeton, and I've always supported my brothers, my Latino brothers, but I remember when Craig Kelman came to me and was like, yo, I got $1 million for you to make a reggaeton album. I was like, yo, I'm digging into craze, B. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and easily somebody would be like, yo, let me take that mill and do that reggaeton album.
Right.
And there's no disrespect to them because I love my brothers and what they doing, but that just ain't Fat Joe. It ain't Fat Joe. I know you're a yard man ting. I got something, especially because of COVID. I live 5 minutes from Khaled. We do something called Breakfast at Khaled's every morning. Right? And the man don't do nothing but play reggae all day. I'll tell you something. If I lived in the mansion next door, I would have had to knock on this door already and be like, yo, check this out. Like, please, bro. Like, yeah. In reggae music, who are some of the biggest influences in your life? And name that tune. Name that tune. Name about 3 all-time reggae tunes and why you feel like it's the greatest tunes.
Well, for me, my pops was from Trinidad and his father was from Barbados. So I have that West Indian blood with me. But at the same time, I grew up in New York. And us growing up in New Yorkers, Latin culture, Puerto Rican culture, and Jamaican culture is part of New York culture.
That's a
fact.
What I'm
saying? You live in New York, you know what a beef patty is. You had the rice and peas before, but you also had the plot that everything was, we were together. You know what I'm saying? This thing of ours. It was Cool Herc and it was the B-Boys. You know what I'm saying? And Crazy Legs. It was all of that. So at the end of the day, our generation especially, maybe not in the 50s and 60s, but definitely our generation, it's one thing. So my dad was working in labels and he was doing stuff, but he would take me to a record store and I'd be like, I'm looking, just like I'm in here, I got all my records, but I could see a Sugar Hill record because it was blue, but then I want that Yellow Man, I'm Getting Married in the Morning too. I need that Yellow Man. You know what I'm saying? Yellow Man's I'm Getting Married in the Morning just made me like, okay, it just, the bass line, boom, 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 boom. I'm getting my, Yellow Man was like the first, not the first, but he was one of the first DJ superstars. He was almost like how the solo king artist that anything he dropped, it was it. It was like Yellow Man, then Shabba, then Buju, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody had their period where anything they touched, it was like, this is it. There's nothing else getting around. And then later on it became Beanie Man and Bounty Killer who had those levels. But it was Yellow Man was that dude. So for me, Yellow Man's I'm Getting Married in the Morning starts it. Now being in New York, because we're there, Shinehead was very important.
Shinehead was the closest thing to being a reggae hip hop. Like he was the fine line.
And he could sing. So that rough
video
and rugged,
music box. Like this guy Sean, yo, the Sean head was like, he was a pioneer, bro.
totally. So Shinehead to this day is a super inspiration. Shinehead's Rough and Rugged album. We had Who the Catfish. So we heard the Let's
Who
Sing
that?
It.
This
Trust
like
me.
woo.
That Rough and Rugged album, me and Mark Pitts talk about it all the time. That album right there, that actually pulled us together. Between Shinehead and that Just Ice, Cool and Deadly, them
Oh,
two albums was like hip
just
hop
us
and
going
reggae,
way back to the early days of
but
'76 and the
the
black
black
stage.
phase,
Chilling
exactly.
with my homeboy Muscle Man
Man
Ron in
from
the Bronx, aka P-Law.
P-Long, P-Long. You know what I'm saying? With that, but then we had that lyrically licking on the other side. Just Tyson's licking lyrics. You know what this, that? Well, yeah, it's just singing number. You know this, that?
Yo,
Uh.
woo!
So,
Heavy D, Heavy D.
Heavy D,
Heavy
always, you know
D
what I'm
was
saying?
big reggae
Heavy D was in
influence.
it. And then Heavy D had his tunes with Supercat, which Supercat for me is still, I put out tunes with Supercat and shit. Supercat's on my new album. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that was it. But for me, even though me and Bobby Conda's remix Ghetto Red Hot, and that's my longest, best song, that's my
Shout out,
song.
shout out, shout out to Bobby Condas and Java, all the
Yep.
Jamaicans in 233rd White Plains. But damn, I was just about to say Super Cat, right?
Supercat himself, yes.
Super Cat. So we doing well, Khaled is doing Rihanna, her charity, the ball. And
Right.
he says, Joe, come with me as my guest. And you know how Khaled he wanted to bless the queen, Rihanna. And
Right.
and so he brought a couple of artists to perform for her.
Yes.
And Khaled, I've never seen Khaled more nervous in my life, right? So I'm sitting with him and so he's sweating. I don't know why. And I'm like, yo, I said, yo, Khaled, what's, he said, I got Super Cat as a surprise downstairs to rock for Rihanna. And I'm like, all right. And we heard all the Super Cat stories in the back. He was like, yo, Joe, this guy's special. And I'm like, yo, he said he don't smile. He don't joke. Super Cat. He would only come. Super Cat would only come in the white Rolls Royce. No, he specifically told Khaled, yo, if it ain't a white Rolls Royce, don't pick me up. If it's like, it's Super Cat, right? So Khaled is scared to death. Like, he's like, like, oh my God, I don't want him to leave. So then they come up, Khaled's assistant like, yo, Super Cat is asking for you. So Khaled hits me on the shoulder and says, yo, could you come down with me to see Super Cat? I said, Khaled, just stall him because it's taking a little longer than, bro. I go downstairs and me and Super Cat start telling stories, dying laughing, diving on the floor, rolling on the floor. Like, yo, we had the best fucking time on earth. Like, Cat was like, thank God Super Cat liked somebody. And we was just, it's an honor. Super Cat different, man.
Well,
Dolly, baby.
it's back to my thing where people that don't like people kind of get along with me. And to this day, that's that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got Super Cat to do a song. I got the white rolls in the video for Push Time. Like, that's what we, you know what I'm saying? So Cat rock with me, but Enough Mine Are Dead by Super Cat is my song. You know what I'm saying? I'll turn the place upside down on any given day. You know what I'm saying?
So, Budget, we want to be loved.
I like Buju. I like Wanna Be Loved. That's my joint. Not for who you think I am or who you want me to be. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely that. But those are my songs. Because, we had a certain age and a certain time where just a certain song just going to make you feel a certain way. Buju at that point, I like a lot of earlier Buju stuff. You know what I'm saying? They kind of go a little way. But
Dance
for
Hall
me,
before he became Rasta, before he was Rasta.
yeah, I like the other stuff that he has that's, more roster. But I definitely like the dancehall Buju. You know what I'm saying? Him and Wayne Wonder. You might not be a movie star. Oh, yes. Sing of the song. You
What?
know what I'm saying?
Cause I love you in
In
every
every
way.
way. Exactly. That and then him and Burris, with the dang, which one's Barris and Buju? Let's a little more time. When I'm running in my world, when I'm
Yo, you know I did a record with
running,
Buju and Barris. Me
crazy.
back in the day. I don't know if it was on my album or Buju's album, but it was a song with me, Buju, and Barris. And I got too much Buju story. We can't even go into that chamber because
Gargamel.
the Gargamel and me, it's too much, man. I don't know what I was speaking to him the other day on the phone. He was telling me, Buju scares me, man. He my brother, but he
But
like,
Super Cat don't scare you, but Buju does. See, it'd be
yeah,
opposite
Super
for
Cat
different
don't
people.
scare me, but Buju start talking that, and I be like, all right, Buju, all right, Gargamel, all right, Gargamel, all right. Gargamel, the Gargamel. He said, Joey, I thought you lose weight. You're getting fat again. I said, yo, Buju, why you say that? I'm good. When you want me to eat yellowtail fish? Like, yo, Buju been telling me since day one, yo, keep eating fish. Stay away from the. Nah, Buju is a healthy dude. Let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
definitely, definitely.
Um,
They get up and
so
work out early in the morning.
tell me about the new album, cause we ain't even, you got so much history, Salaam, in here. We just celebrate and we bring
For
people to the
sure.
light. And every night we just give people inspiration and we find a way to inspire the people going through too much with this COVID. They're going through too much. Jobs is
Hmm.
lost and everything. So we try to give them people that look like them and grew up like them that could
Right,
inspire them. So
right.
tell me about the new album.
The new album is called Black on Purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
It's something that was inspired by this year, the energy of this year, the events of this year. You know, between March when the pandemic started, we both from the city. So at the end of the day, between March and May, I was sending condolences texts back to somebody every single day. Yo, it wasn't
every day,
my direct
Salam. I
people.
was on this show every day saying rest in peace to 4 different people. Every day.
Every day. So in my
Every
mind,
day I was on this show. Yo, rest in peace, Marina. Rest in peace, this one, that one, the security guard, George. This shit was crazy, bro.
amazing that many people. And I was sitting there going, these people aren't getting funerals. We're not getting an opportunity to send off people the right way. So I was just like, you know what? This is a mass grief that I felt that my people were going through. And when I say my people, I just felt everyone was going through something and the city was feeling it. And I was just looking like, wow. And then, that last weekend when I had to do that was Mother's Day weekend when Andre passed on Friday, Little Richard passed on Saturday, and Betty Wright passed on Sunday.
Mm.
On Sunday was Mother's Day, and then you've been to Miami like me, so you already know Betty Wright's been like a mom figure to me since I was down here.
Oh
Since I
man, I
moved
love
here,
Betty Wright, man.
you know what
Miss
I'm saying?
Betty,
She
man.
would
God
always
bless
be
her.
there. She would always be there. Up to the Super Bowl this year, I was like, I need a marching band because me and CeeLo, we trying to do something with it. She was out there finding marching band people for me during the Super Bowl. I didn't even know she was that sick. She's like, I'm gonna get up over here. My grandbaby's there. They with Beyonce now. It's down, but we gonna get it done. Like she was always here to help me do stuff. And we first worked together on Josh Stone back in 2002. So it was always a thing when she
Yeah,
come
yeah.
by. And if I call her like, no, Miss Betty, I need a kids choir, or if I need anything, I need some backgrounds. You know anybody? Well, send me the song. Let me listen to it. She do them vocals herself and send it right back. Like, that sound good? Tell me if you want me to change it. Like she was just always on it with us. So that just took me out. And then that week I turned 48. So I'm like, yo, that's it. I'm out of 2020. I'm in year 48. It's a new day. And then Memorial Day, George Floyd, and that just tore me apart. I'd already seen Ahmaud Arbery, you know what I'm saying? And that already had me feeling uncomfortable running around my neighborhood with a mask on. We big dudes. So at the end of the day, I use my voice, I use my demeanor to let somebody know, like, hey, this ain't it. But guess what? I don't fit in handcuffs comfortably. Anybody trying to get me in handcuffs is going to say I'm resistant. You know what I'm saying? Do you have the extra seat belt for the plane extension for these? It's not going to happen. I'm not being apprehended, and it's not happening easy. So at the end of the day, watching what happened with George Floyd and the disrespect of how boldly Homeboy could just take his life and just look in the cameras that was rolling like, so what? it took a piece of me, and I recorded a bunch of videos. I was gonna put the videos online and be like, "Yo, hey, this is how I feel." Because as you said, I'm cool. I'm in the corner. I got corporate jobs and to do what I got to do. People see me calm and collective. And I was thinking maybe if somebody saw that they pissed me off now, then they might understand how sensitive it is. But then I decided, you know what? I'm not going to let anybody see me flinch like that. I'm going to use my strongest voice. And my strongest voice is music. You know what I'm saying? So people have been quoting me because I've been saying, like, look, at the end of the day, I tell artists all the time, well, that's how you feel. We'll put it in a song. It's going to last longer than your feelings. Let's keep this
Mm.
moving. You know what I'm saying? And as we keep it going, so then I decided I was talking to Black Thought during the pandemic. I've been getting everybody set up at home in their studio. So Case, Bilal, Jennifer Hudson, everybody was like, dang, what mic to get? And I'm texting everybody what to do. And they started, we're going to create some stuff. We ain't locked in the crib, but let's finish. Miguel went back to his studio in his house, had it all set up. We all like, let's record. But trust me, that event broke so many people's spirit. And then I'm sitting there going, this is mental. Like, physically the COVID ain't get me. I ain't been out the crib. The racism can't physically touch me from where I'm sitting in the house, but it did, because if one of us are going through something, we're all going through something. And that's the way I felt. If one of us is going through COVID, okay, and it's hitting our community, then we got to feel it when we have no heart. We have to see what's going on and understand what they're going through. And I felt the same way now. So I decided to make Black on Purpose as an intentionally Black record that just showed how I felt. Because me being a big Black man, it reminded me of every time I was pulled over when I was executive vice president of Sony, sitting at the top floor reporting to Doug Morris, but I'm still getting pulled over driving from Dumbo into the city. And I still got to be looking like, hello, sir, giving him my card along with my license, just so you realize I'm no knucklehead. I'm only in a Denali. It ain't like I got the souped out Maybach or something, but I'm still getting this pressure. I still thought about all the times I had to make myself small. And then I was just like, dang, what am I doing? I'm taking money to be in part of a system that still would squash my neck if they had the opportunity to. So for that, I recorded Is It Because I'm Black? You know what I'm saying? And I put Anthony Hamilton and Stephen Marley and CeeLo and Selena Johnson, the original singer, Still Johnson's father, and
Mm.
Black Thought sang on it. And then I said, you know what? Me and CeeLo had cut Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. We put that out in February. So I was like, I'm going to stack up this album to be two things. Number one, a speech of solidarity. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my Malcolm X intro starts with. Until it's understood that no judge or no court and anything is going to change anything. So you understand that if you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. It's that Sadat X. If my crew don't get in, then I'm out of here. X makes the exit to the rear. I'm out of here. Don't front on my
Remember,
brothers.
my
I take
brothers, I
care of them.
take care of them before I take care of others.
You understand what I'm saying? If we can't get in, okay, don't tell me I'm coming in and no. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I can be okay, cool, but don't think you're going to disrespect everybody else and then sitting here looking at me. So at the end of the day, humanity is where I am. You know what I'm saying? And even though Black on Purpose was me going back through the church things I had, because I'm looking at everybody now, we're going into, the numbers are going up. How many people are going into Thanksgiving and Christmas? I lost my mom in 2001 before I moved down here. I haven't liked holidays since. I'm not thinking
Mm.
about Thanksgiving, but look at it. How many people are touching their first Thanksgiving? Now you can't even get back together at Thanksgiving. You're going to be on Zoom. Zoom's going to crash that night. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to feel like now we're going into Christmas, the holidays. There's so much things happening. And I was like, we need some healing. So, the gospel levels of going up yonder with Nas and Jennifer, things that we're doing, towards our moms, the energy of, Black progress, anything we can do to kind of help people. Because I want people to listen to this record and feel like, the bodies of work that we grew up on. It takes a nation of million to hold us back. What's going on? The things that made me feel like it emotionally takes me somewhere when I listen to it, but at the same time, it gives me a sense of power and a sense of focus to know what it is. So I could say those two albums, What's Going On, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, those two things, you could directly hear it in my record and my energy where I'm going, because I felt
Wow.
like it was time to do that. And if I never make a record again, we're at that point now. I could sue the hell out of Sony or somebody because I don't care if they ever hire me again. We're not playing hire me again. I live here. We're good. I'm going to live somewhere better. We're going to have island property with some acres and sit
Yeah.
down and eat something. At the end of the day, you can have $1 million, but if you really want that beef patty with cocoa bread, it costs $2. So What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way
Mhm.
for you to change my life. Where are we going with this? And that's
Shout
where
out
I'm
to our
at.
brother Breon. He's heavy on the comments, man.
Big up,
No,
Breon.
Chris God. Uh, I heard everything you said. I feel exactly the same way. Um, and you know, we got a new president coming. We got a new sister in the White House,
Yep.
and now we got to hold them accountable as soon
Yep.
as they get in there to see what they gonna do on behalf of these laws and the systemic racism that's holding our people back.
Definitely.
And I
Definitely.
gotta end it with this. Somebody like you, take Fat Joe out the equation. Uh, who is your top 5 MCs of all time?
Whoa, we doing that? Um, top 5. All right, so first I'm gonna tell you who my number one is. Slick Rick. That's it for
Ooh,
me. So everybody else has different things, and they be like, "Who's your favorite rapper ever?" You have to understand it's Slick Rick. You know what I'm saying? Since the first time I got to know, my dad was one of the first people to take, my first person to take Dougie Fresh to the studio. He made a record with Dougie Fresh, Spivey, and Spoonie G, all for the Pastor Dutchie called Pastor Buddha. But when we got around to get to Dougie with Rick, I was in awe. I was like, 12, 13 years old. I'm watching them. The show was popping. We're in Landover, Maryland. I'm a Slick Rick fanatic. I know every word and how he did it. That's the energy I like. That's his blend of the reggae energy, which I didn't even realize was some Yellow Man in the Slick Rick. But Slick Rick, number one. Number two, I'm gonna just put it out there easy. I ain't even say he's number two, but now everybody else is in. Rakim, Kane, Nasir, KRS One. I'm old school.
that's a mean start at 5. I'll tell you my Slick Rick story. When I was a young kid, I bumped heads with my father. So I left my mother's house and I was 14.
Mm.
And so the next day I started hustling, right? And even though I was acting tough, and I probably was the toughest guy in my age group, my class, the class of most likely not to succeed, but I was renting this crackhead hotel by
Mm-hmm.
Crotona Avenue by Dodge High School. So I would go up there every night, pay $30 to spend the night. But this is a bummy hotel. Like they was shooting heroin in there, smoking crack in there. They was busting people's heads open with bottles, all type of shit out there. So I was really
Wow.
scared. And the only way I made it through the nights was I would play Slick Rick shit on repeat in my Walkman, and that was the only way I could sleep, was just listening to Slick Rick songs back to back to back to back to back to back. And I knew every Slick Rick song, like, I tried, I love Slick Rick. I had the honor this year to take him to dinner for his birthday. So
Dope.
so his wife said, Joe, he don't rock with nobody like that. We'll allow you to take Rick to dinner for his birthday. Shout out Jimmy's Cafe, Accra. And
Mm-hmm.
um and so Slick Rick, he's very sentimental for me. I love him on another level. So I get what you're saying. And yo, Salaam, thank you so much. Tell them what's the name of the album again.
It's called Black on Purpose. It's available everywhere now. All the videos is on my page. Everything's out here. It's just Black on Purpose. That's what we're rolling with.
We love you, my brother. I wanted to
Thank
ask
you.
you, because I know you best friends with Angie Martinez, my girl.
There
I
you go.
almost left. How do you become so tight with Angie?
Well, basically what happened was me and Flex actually. So my pops used to manage Chuck Chill Out. Chuck Chill Out, when they had Chuck Chill Out and Cool J and Masters of the Rhythm and the Rhythm is a Master, I'm a Slave and all that stuff. I'm Large. My pops was the dude in the video. The Agents of Ill have kidnapped Dapper Dan and all that stuff. So when I got out of high school, when I came to the city to live, Chuck Chill Out was living at one end of the hall. We had a studio in the middle, and then I was at the other end. Classic Concepts was now in the building with us. So when Classic Concepts is in the building with us, hip hop is there. No, I'm going to the LaGuardia community. Hip hop's in the building. So Flex starts driving Chuck Chill Out wherever he needs to go. So me and Flex come up together underneath Chuck. I'm carrying crates, I'm doing whatever it is. And then now Flex becomes Funkmaster Flex is on the one and twos because Chuck Chill Out's on the mic. Cool. So then now when Flex finally gets the chance to go to Hot 97, when we were always together, he was like, yo, come to the radio station with me. Cause I just need somebody else that knows me to listen to, you know what I'm saying? Like, at that time it was still Baltazar and Speedy, and they were still transitioning from the old Hot 103 into Hot 97. So what ends up happening is that I'm there, but Flex is like, I'm writing down the songs and I'm still producing. I got records going at that time, but I'm still like, all right, Friday nights, I write down the records with Flex. I open the door. I'm pretty much an intern. You know what I'm saying? I'm producing the show, but I'm an intern. And then Angie now starts, coming from the board. She was on the promotion team, and now she's the board op for Flex. So the beginning of Hot 97 really getting into the hip hop space. Flex is on the turntables. Angie's now becoming the person that runs the board. And then, I'm sitting in the room with them every Friday, and it's me, Angie, and Flex. Ain't nobody else in the building. You know what I'm saying? That's all it comes down to. And now this is like, yo, Angie, what's up? And it's, yo, Angie, you good? Yeah, what's up, Flex? And then Angie gets the overnight shift. So then when Angie gets the overnight shift, she's calling me like, yo, what to do? This, that, and the third. And then, I'm giving both of them ideas. She wants to do the Battle of the Beats. And then we come up with this idea. And then I get Lauryn Hill to do It's the Battle of the Beats, Beats, Beats off the Nappy Head. So that whole time, I'm in Hot 97 every Friday. Flex is doing what he's doing. I was already with him in the clubs in Red Zone. I was already with him in the clubs at the Muse, like I said, when I saw you at home base. So I'm seeing what everybody needs on the DJ level, but I'm also making the records for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's when my 92, 93, when we were at BLS, I was with Condas. We're doing that. So I'm in the booth and at the station with Flex and with Bobby. And I'm looking at the crowd, and I know how to read the crowd, so I know how to make records for the crowd. So that's how I can still make club records and never go out, because I know exactly what it is.
Shout out to my brother Prince Marky D on the check-in.
My pops actually used to produce the Fat Boys too. Big up Marky D.
Your father produced the Fat Boys?
Yeah, he produced Falling in Love and a couple other joints, yeah. So I had a Fat Boys jacket in high school. You know
Who produced Fat Boy?
I believe that was either Davey D or Curtis Blow, one of them.
Jesus Christ, Fat. Every jam I went to, block party, had that shit banging off the walls. That was the first record I ever heard in every single jam. Was Fat Boy.
My jam from them on that album was Jailhouse Rock. That bass line still drives me crazy. Boom, 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 boom. With Marky's verse on there, woo! That was my jam. Jailhouse Rock.
I gotta get Prince Marky D up here one of these days soon too. Living legend, we gotta address him the proper way. Yo, thank you so much, my brother. God bless you, Salaam.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me. We here.
You are a musical treasure. You are a genius. You're culturally wealthy.
That's all we need, brother. That's all we need. If we got that, what else we need?
The living legend, he says, all you can eat.
That's a barrel. That's a barrel of crazy.
All you can eat. Larry Smith did Fat Boys.
Exactly.
That's
Big up Larry Smith.
Prince Marky D did. Yo, my brother, God bless you, man.
For sure.
You already know what it is. Thank you for coming on here.
All the time.
And I'm work on that Fuji Live for me 2020.
I'm going to play it live, and it's going to sound crazy. I got you.
I need it. I need it.
You.
Thank you, my brother. God bless.
All right, bro.
All right.
Good night.
And you don't know who I know. You didn't even know you knew him. The man been making you hits in every genre. He been keeping it hot forever. Shout out to Funkmaster Flex, who started with my man Salaam Remi. Funkmaster Flex, Fat Joe's career would have never gotten to the point it was or is if it wasn't for Funkmaster Flex breaking all my music, supporting me since day one. Let me see how this is going down. Let me see something. We try something here. I know, guys. We gonna try something new. What you gonna do? We gonna try something new. Shh. Man, oh man. Man, oh man, boy. So much. You guys gained so much knowledge today. Me too. I'm trying to reach out to my. Trying to reach out. Damn, man, I try. I was supposed to have a special one come up right after Salaam, and but she probably waited too long, man. Shout out to Snow the product, you know, Latina sister, Latina sister doing her thing in this rap shit, legend, keeping it real. I guess we'll catch up with her another time. It's almost time. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off this interview because this is too much of valuable content, and then I'm gonna turn it right back on, and we're gonna go on with Ted Smooth. So I don't lose it, because once Ted start jamming, they front on me and they don't let me put it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post this and come back on in 1 second. Wild Cherry Pepsi Fridays. Wild Cherry Pepsi Fridays. Let's go.